Welcome to Electrotutes. In this video, we will learn about Boolean equations, SOP and POS forms of expressing a function. So let's get started. In digital systems, we are dealing with binary logic. So the input into our system or circuit and the output generated by them can only take one of two values, 0 or 1. These inputs and outputs can be represented using variables similar to how we do in the decimal system, by using English alphabets like A, B, X, Y, etc. Also, there are three basic logic operations that we can perform on these variables: AND, OR, and NOT, also called as complement. Using these three logic operations, we can form equations much like the equations in the decimal system we are familiar with. And these equations that deal with variables that are either true or false, 0 or 1, are called as Boolean equations. Let's first look at these three logic operations. Complement, also called as NOT, is the inverse of a Boolean variable. We use a bar on top of a variable or a tick to represent it when writing an equation. So if y is a Boolean variable and it is 0, then y bar equal to y prime is equal to 1. And if y equal to 1, y bar is equal to y prime equal to 0. Here y is called as the true form of the variable and y bar or y prime is called the complement form. I have the slide from previous video with me. Now here, when we discuss the inverter, you will notice that it's the same thing as complement. Even the name of the gate is not. So we can say that output y here is equal to x bar equal to x prime. And similarly, for a buffer we can write y equal to x. And here we have y equal to 0 and y equal to 1. So we have written down some equations which give us the same information as a truth table. And these equations are called as the Boolean equations. I recommend you to watch this previous video on logic gates if you haven't already, because I will reference it again in this video. You can access the link to the video from the description below. And between two or more variables is represented in the same way we represent a multiplication or product in normal algebra, using a dot like a dot b or sometimes simply ab. For three variables, it goes like a, b, c. We will call this as a and b when dealing with binary variables. If even one of these variables has a value of 0, the whole AND expression evaluates to 0. And for this to be 1, all the variables must be 1. So basically, this expression is 1 when A and B and C are all 1. Or between two or more variables is represented in the same way we represent sum in normal algebra, using a plus sign like a plus b plus c, etc. For this expression to evaluate to 1, any or all of the variables must be 1. Again, going back to the previous video slide, we can write Boolean equations for two input cases now. First we can write it y equal to 0. Then we have a and b directly using the AND logic operation. Then y equal to a, y equal to b, y equal to a or b, again directly using the OR logic operation. Y equal to a XOR b. Now this is a new symbol. XOR can be represented using the basic operations as AB bar plus A bar B, but XOR is an important part of digital design. Hence it gets its own new symbol, which is simply A or B with a circle to show it's an exclusive OR. Next we have y equal to a plus b prime or a plus b bar, which basically means a or b and then its complement or inversion. Then we have a XOR b complement, y equal to b complement, y equal to a bar, y equal to ab bar or AB prime, A and B and then its complement, and finally we have y equal to 1. So there are still some columns missing. Can we write an expression for these? Let's try to do this next. We have y equal to 1 only when A is 1 and B is 0. Let's flip B. Then we have B bar equal to 1 when B equal to 0. So we end up with a requirement of y equal to 1 when A is 1 and B bar is 1. This now looks something like A and B case. So we can AND these, giving us the final equation y equal to AB bar. We can test if this equation is actually equal to the truth table by putting in the values. Consider the case A 0 and B 1. B is 1, so B bar is 0, A is 0. Now for AND operation to be equal to 1, both the variables must be 1, which is not the case. So here we get y equal to 0. In the table also we have y equal to 0. You can similarly check for the other cases also. Moving on the next case, y is 1 only when A is 0 and B 1. Using the same logic as this, y is 1 only when A bar is 1 and B 1. Then we have y equal to A bar B. Case 12 looks to be an inverted version of case 5. So we can complement the fifth case, giving us y equal to A bar B whole bar. Then we have case 14, which is a complemented version of 3. So we have y equal to AB bar whole bar. Now for this equation of XOR, we see two product terms and a sum of them. So this is called the sum of products. Let's look at what it is exactly. First we need to define minterm and maxterm for it. A minterm is a product involving all of the inputs to the function. For a function with three variables a, b and c, a bar b c is a minterm, a b bar c bar is another minterm, but a b bar is not a minterm as it does not involve c. Then we have maxterm. It is a sum involving all of the inputs to the function. Using the same three variable case, a plus b plus c bar is the maxterm, a bar plus b plus c, but a plus c is not a maxterm. Sum of products form. If you look at a truth table containing n input variables, it contains 2 to power n rows, one for each possible value of input. Like for 2 inputs, we had 2 to the power of 2 equal to 4 rows. Let me write these again. Now each row in this is associated with a minterm that is true for that row. So the first row has A0, B0. Product of A and B will be 1 when we flip the zeros. Flipping A is A bar, then B is B bar, giving us the minterm A bar B bar, which is true for this first row. Similarly, for the second row, we have A bar B, third AB bar and fourth AB. These are named from M0 to M3. For functions with more inputs, we follow the same process with all the inputs. What's the use of writing in minterm form? We can actually write Boolean equations for any truth table by summing each of the minterms for which the output is 1 or true. Let's take an example output y, which has outputs something like this, 0, 1, 0, 1. Then the equation associated with y will be the sum of m1 and m3 as they are true. So y is a bar b plus ab. This is called the sum of products canonical form of a function, in short SOP form. For obvious reason, it is the sum of the products formed by minterms. The same function can be simplified or represented in many ways. We will discuss those in our next video on Boolean algebra. Product of sum form. Similar to this SOP form, we have an alternative form of representation using maxterms that are false for those rows, and this is called products of sum form. Let's use the same two variable examples These are the maxterms that are false for each row. Like for A0, B1, we get B bar equal to 0 and A is already 0. So 0 or 0 gives us 0. Similarly, you can check other maxterms also. These maxterms are named using capital M, M0, M1, M2 and M3. Now we can form a Boolean equations by taking AND of all the maxterms for which the output is false. So for the same example, we get y equal to M0, M2, A plus B and A bar plus B. This is called the product of some canonical form of a function, in short POS form, as it is a product of sum formed by maxterms. Note that the SOP form produces a short function when the output is true only for a few rows, and POS gives a short function when output is false only for a few rows. Now you may check the XOR gate, and we can write its Boolean function using the SOP or POS form. I have written here using the SOP form. You can similarly represent XOR gate using POS form also. This was all for our discussion of Boolean equations. In the next video, we will look at the algebra involved with these equations and the need for it. I hope you learned something from this video. If yes, hit the like button, share your feelings in the comment section below, and hit the subscribe button for more electronics tutorials.